Hello, everybody. My name is Sonia Gil. I am from Rio de Janeiro. Oh, okay. I am from Rio de Janeiro. I've been in Berlin for 3 years. I'm going to make a presentation about my work. First, I'm going to give you an idea of how I developed my work until the project that I submitted to this open call, which is called Lithium Landscapes. First, this was my first exhibition in Brazil, in the northeast of Brazil in 2004. I graduated as an architect. I have a passion for cities and how they are developed, how they are built, and how they change as time passes, and the various layers that build a city. So this was a project, it was an art installation about the city of Fortaleza, which is a city in the northeast of Brazil. So I had aerial photographs, and I had imaginary maps made of the city, inspired in the maps of the city. So these are acrylics and aerophotos. And this is my work with watercolors. I graduated as an architect and worked for some time with urbanism and sustainable issues. And but after some time working as an architect, I decided it was time was ripe to become fully an artist. And I had a passion for watercolors, which is considered a difficult technique, but my interest is that I cannot control it. It's like a collaboration. I work with lots of water. I stopped and it still works on. So it always surprises me with effects. New effects, takes new directions that I use in different ways. So I started to build an interest with the digital world, and I like to think of my work as a process. I paint the watercolors with brush, paint, and paper. I photograph them, and then I make digital collages. So I call this my digital palette, which are the photographs of my watercolors. So I can photograph while they're already dry, while they're still wet, and even the palette itself, like this one, which is not paper. It was the way I was mixing the colors, and I thought it was beautiful, so I photographed it. And all these images are using layers, mixing with photographs, with images that I captured on Google Earth to make my maps, which I call urban calligraphies. And this is a group that I co-founded in 2010. It is called Urban Dialogues. And it was a time when social media started, so I was wondering what I could do with it. And I figured out it was good for connection. So I met an artist from New York, and we started to exchange images from our cities and talk about how cities were polluted with lots of images from advertisement. So she photographed New York, the advertisement spaces, and I photographed Rio de Janeiro. We exchanged, and we placed our works on the advertisement. We made mock-ups, and we found it was fun and interesting, and decided to invite other artists to the experience. So we co-founded Urban Dialogues, which was a group of 10 artists from different cities: India, Lagos in Nigeria, and Belgium, Madrid. There was one from Tokyo, and one from Zorzel in Belgium. So it was a very interesting experience, and this influenced very much my work, because you can see on this image that this is one of my maps, imaginary maps, that I called urban calligraphy. So because of the interaction with the other artists, it exploded from the frame of the advertisement spaces we were using, and it came to the sidewalk. So after this experience with Urban Dialogues, I started experiencing different kinds of works with the digital collages. So this is an exhibition that I did in Rio de Janeiro. So I started to use my digital collages as fine art, printing as fine art, and experiencing making prints on fabrics and on other surfaces like this table. And so I moved on. This is from my collection, my Portugal collection. Before moving to Berlin, I spent 2 years in Lisbon. So I began to work more abstractly. This is a map of Porto, which is a city of Portugal. And I started working with transparency and capturing the design of the cities, and working with different scales and different layers. And then I came to Berlin, and this was my first exhibition here in Berlin. I was selected for this exhibition at the Assisi Panorama Berlin. It was called Between Worlds, Old Walls and New Art. So I made 5 works of using the maps of Berlin. And so it was an abstraction using the maps and watercolors. And it was exhibited in screens at the Assisi Panorama Berlin. So I moved on to start making experiences with artificial intelligence. And this is very recent. I started in January. So I started here is an exhibition at a Web3 event. It's called Artificial Environments. It was built on, like I used to do, using design of cities that I would capture and mix with my watercolors. And I started to feed the artificial intelligence, working with Stability AI in the clouds. It's called Dream Studio. And so I feed my work with prompts, and I started to experiment with it. And it's the same feeling as a watercolor, because you have no full control of the outcome. It always surprises you. So it's you make a pre-curation, you feed the AI, and then you make a post-curation. You get surprised by the results. Some are terrible, and some are surprising and take you to places you would never go by yourself. So I consider working with AI as a collaboration. So the project I submitted to this event is called Lithium Landscapes. And it's a mixture of this journey that I just told you. It mixes digital with my interest in and worries about sustainability. I was mesmerized by the images. These images are from Salar de Atacama in Chile. It's by the European Space Agency. And these are the pools. This is the mining of the lithium. Lithium is at the heart of today's advanced battery technology of our laptops, tablets, digital cameras, and smartphones. Everything depends on it. So what's the other side of the coin of these technologies that we use? It's not a sustainable mining. And I'm always interested in how it's the other side of the coin, how it's the beautiful image, and at the same time, the other side of the story hides non-sustainable mining. And I was interested in working with it. I found the images very interesting, and I started to make the digital collages with it. So this is one of my works that I exhibited in a screen. This is an exhibition of a Web3 event called Berlin Verse that was in the Nota Gallery, a gallery in Kreuzberg. And this was in another event of the Solana Build Station, which is also a Web3 event. And this is the result of my experimentations with the lithium landscapes and with AI. So I started to feed the AI and play with the prompts, and had very different results. This one, I started to use the prompts with desert because of the Salar de Atacama is a desert. And so I got very interesting images. And this is another image that totally out of the box from what I had been doing. And this is all, I think it's all very interesting how this concept of collaboration that I find interesting is that it's collaboration as collision. And it takes you to new places and surprises you. And it's a concept of discoverability. You can discover new paths for your work, because after some time you keep on repeating yourself. And collaborating with the artificial intelligence, I find it that I know that it's very polemic today. People are very afraid of it, but I use it as an experience to make new experiments, to take me to new places, and to push my work forward. So that's it. That's it.
You're using AI. Everyone is using now AI. What do you think? Is it? You said a little bit about it, but do you have a fear, or are you hopeful of how AI will change our lives, or is it going to be something like a replacement of Google search and some other tools that we don't think about it right now?
Well, I always like to be hopeful. I don't think there is any problem with the AI. It's a tool. I think the problem is with the humans, is with the use of the tool, not with the tool. I mean, the Web 2 came with the promise of the shared economy, and the shared economy was not very well shared. We have Uber, we have Airbnb, people get rich, and the people who drive and the owners of the apartment get a small slice. So all the promises of Web3, decentralization, AI, I think the problem is we are not mature emotionally as humankind still has a lot of problems we're facing today, very difficult things that are still leftovers of the last century. We have wars, we have lots of things that I thought we were not going to face in 2024. So AI, it is a danger, but it also can, it is a tool that we can do many interesting things with it. And I know the artists, illustrators are very afraid of being replaced. There's a lot of discussion about ownership of images being used. But I think a lot of interesting things can be done. And my experience is it's pushing me to new edges. So, but my experience is I am using my own images to feed the AI. So it's AI collaborating on my works with the prompts. Of course, when AI creates the images, it scans the whole of the internet. So it is working with works of other artists. But we are not locked in the cupboard. When we create a work, we are always thinking of all the other works that have been done before. It's impossible not to be influenced. So I would say I am positive about the possibilities of AI, but I can see the dangers also.
Thank you. And I have one short question. Yeah, I just wanted to know about because now you're using that as a tool. So how would you use this tool, to AI tool, in the future for your future works? Because you're more or less done with those prompts. So do you have any idea how would you like to use it, utilize the AI tool in the future, in your future artworks?
Well, right now I'm in a point that I did the first experiments. It's very recent. I started in January. So it's like I need to move on. I'm not really sure. I don't have, the best answer to give you because it's always experimenting. But I want to go on with this theme of sustainability. So I'm gonna work on this theme of technology and sustainability, and working on the prompts and feeding and refeeding, because you feed the AI, you get a result, you get that result and you refeed it. So it's ongoing. You create new series. But I I don't think I have come to a point where I can tell you exactly where I'm going to from now. So I'm in this point that I had my first experiments. I want to go on with it with this theme of sustainability, but I don't know exactly where I'm heading to. Not yet.
And do we have any questions from the audience? Yes.
I'm wondering about your dimensions. Your work is like a two-dimension. It's mostly two-dimensional. Is AI is its presentation is print. How does your work used to be like architecture is like a three-dimensional, and now you're using AI. What do you think AI is like a four-dimension? Like, can you talk about that relationships
Yes, that's an interesting question because as an architect, I was trained to work with 3D, but my artwork has always been 2D. I have never worked with 3D, and this is kind of strange because I work with I have never worked with sculpture. And when you say that AI may be a fourth dimension, this may be interesting. But when I started to work with digital, it is, although it's 2D, it has a depth, and I always work with layers. And it has the depths of the screen, and the colors are different. My experiences in printing it as fine art were interesting, but it lost a lot of all the work I had done with all the layers and the colors. They change when you can print the best fine art with cotton paper and all, but it's different from what you see in the screen. So that's why I was attracted to exhibiting in screens, because it has a light. But it's interesting this question about a fourth dimension. I hadn't thought of that before. But what I have seen of people working with AI is they work in a much more sophisticated way than I do, because I have never done any coding. I'm just a user. So I'm just working with prompts, and I work with chance. But the people who are doing a project and they want to have a specific result, it's very tricky. For example, you can have a person with 3 legs. It's difficult to have hands who have lots of fingers. It's so what I am doing is working with what AI brings me. So I don't have an idea, fixed idea of a project. It's like I send it and I get the return and I post-curate it. So that's why I made a parallel with the watercolor, something that I cannot fully control. I don't know if I answered you.